Boom!
Hey, yo, what's up? It's Mike from True Trading Group. Are you guys ready for an amazing live stream with a massive amount of golden nuggets, all designed to help you to learn faster, trade smarter, and profit sooner? Of course you are, right? Of course you are. But now, before we begin, I want to show everyone something. All right. I'm talking to all teaching members, non-members, all the haters, the supporters, and everybody in between. I want you to see what you've motivated us to build and what we are continuing to build each and every single day. So please do me a favor. Sit back, relax, watch this quick 4-minute video that shows you the new TTG platform. When it ends, we're going straight into the live stream. And I promise you, you're leaving here with real takeaways that you can actually use to help yourselves make some money. All right, let's run it.
Hey, boy, Jim. It's your boy, Jim.
Straight from y'all, street to Wall Street. Anybody tells you that money is the root of all evil doesn't have any. Oh, do wake up, get that girl hyped up just to get a little bit. The only woman in the morning wanna turn on this Becky quick. While the average man's looking at curves like she fine as heck, I'm over here looking at tails and wicks like buy or sell. I left the chaos for the market. Nah, I don't want a street spot, I want a stock pick. I know that style got flair, triggered my stop losses, but I ain't got time for distractions. My Vivo with PFs crossing, rich with hot trades from pushing hot keys, strategies and plans to make grand. Still in my tank top, Batman pajamas, house slides in about 5 hot picks of the day, cause I like the way the Dow moves. For hot dips on call, so I got options, two with a lot of volume, one with a double bottom. Now I know some folks don't understand, am I talking about my trade or just thinking with my Mac day? You see we're different in the way we move. You move with kittens and your dogs, I move with bears and bulls. I got a green thumb, I grow with the market. Waking up with the future, stacking up some commas. I jump out of bed, eat my bacon and eggs. I light up watching them candles while I'm still in my sandals. Making profit. They used to watch me move them packs, bro, stop it. Now I watch moves in the NASDAQ. Making profit. Used to run from the ATF and the cops. Now I run down ETFs and making profit. I jump out of bed, make profit. Eat my bacon and eggs, make profit. Light up watching them candles while I'm still in my sandals. Making profit. Me and Jim Cramer been talking mad money. He said today I'm taking the risk, they got the feds coming, but I got support here with me. I call it a short squeeze. You get the drop, she pulls the trigger and shuts it down. If she stays on my watch list, I might have to keep her, but I know better. I'm a true trading group lifer. Go ahead, be bold. Trader, get your spy hit. I'll double top that guy, head and shoulders. Hit him up with this resistance. Watch him roll over, cause I see big moves in contracts. If I say I made 1 million a day, well, that's a large cap. You moving average, that's why you get crossed, get split, get delisted and knocked off. And I'm setting the whole block off. I'm buying GameStop and selling them roadblocks off. I get profit, jump out of bed, make profit, eat my bacon and eggs, make profit, light up watching them candles, make profit, while I'm still in my sandals, making profit. They used to watch me move them packs, bro, stop it. Now I watch moves in the NASDAQ, making profit. Used to run from the ATF and the cop. Now I run down ETFs and make profit. Hey, my family, we do, man. Make profit. Hey, Suge, Mike, what we doing, dog? Make profit. Make profit. That TTG money, we can't.
Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? Hey, yo, what's up? Welcome to the True Trading Group live stream. Hope you guys are all doing well here on this wonderful Wednesday afternoon. It's a crazy day. We had the Fed meeting. It was kind of uneventful because we knew that we weren't going to get any rate cuts, but it's all about earnings here now. It's all about Microsoft. It's all about Meta. It's all about Tesla. And Microsoft and Meta trading to the downside on their initial report. Meta actually back to the upside. Whoa, big reversal here on Meta. Big reversal here on Meta since we just went live. Both Meta and Microsoft were top and bottom line beats. They actually were unbelievable earnings reports. The reason why Microsoft is down is because their Azure growth came in line on the cloud side, right? That's their cloud business. And on Microsoft Azure, that came in line with expectations. Big deal. They had blowout earnings per share, revenue. It's all beating expectations. Meta, same thing. Revenue, earnings per share, top bottom line beat there for Meta. The Meta actually experienced 24% revenue growth in that quarter, which is a significant increase from Q3 when analysts were actually expecting that number to come a little bit down. It actually increased by 24%. And that is giving you a nice pop there on Meta. The reason why Meta initially dropped to the downside is most likely because of their CapEx. Their guidance for CapEx for the full year for 2026 is $115 to $135 billion. It's an absolutely ridiculous amount of cash. Analysts were only expecting 110. Okay, so their CapEx. This has been the deal with Mark Zuckerberg from day one. Mark Zuckerberg is of the belief that nobody is going to outspend me. He's going to use his massive fortress of a balance sheet and his ridiculous cash flow to just spend his way through. He does not believe in skimping in any way when it comes to CapEx, when it comes to investing. He did the same thing when he was focusing on the metaverse. Thank God he pulled away from that. He's doing the exact same thing, though, now as it relates to AI. So the high CapEx coming from Meta is a good sign for some of your other AI-related companies, like your AI hardware names, like an NVIDIA or like some of the semiconductors are getting a little bit of a pop here after hours because of this. But that's the reason why the stock initially dropped on Meta. But then when you take a look at the actual numbers, why does it matter, right? When you think about why does it matter that the company is spending more money than you thought it was going to on their CapEx if the earnings and the revenue growth justifies it? And I think that's what just happened on Meta, because as I'm going live here, I was reading through the earnings report, and as soon as I saw that 24% growth number on a massive top and bottom line beat for Meta, you got to sit there and say to yourself, these are fantastic numbers. Now, here's the thing, okay, that we have to talk about that's going to be pretty interesting over the next couple of weeks. I think the markets are really going to hone in. They're really going to focus on this week and next week with earnings, because the biggest percentage of the S&P 500 is reporting earnings this week and next week. And now you have the Fed meeting behind us, and there's nothing else really to kind of get in the way because there's no expectation of rate cuts anytime soon. So now the market can just get back to focusing on earnings, right? Just let it focus on earnings. That's what I think is going to be better for the markets. And I think that that's going to be something that I think is going to provide for better trading opportunities. So we just take a look real quick. I'll go through these numbers. I'll go through these numbers with you guys. And let's hit on Meta. Let's hit on Meta first. Earnings per share come in at $8.22 against expectations of $8.02. Revenue comes in, this is ridiculous. Revenue comes in at $58.4 billion. That is a beat against expectations of $48.4 billion. Insane. Let's go ahead and let's go talk about Microsoft. Microsoft earnings per share, $3.86, and its expectation was $3.23. Revenue comes in 80.3. I'm sorry, 81.3 billion. Hold on here, guys. Yeah, that's a typo on that one. Oh, guys, hold on. Yeah, we are getting a nice move higher here now on NVIDIA. It's kind of what I was talking about, right? Hold on, guys. All right. Yeah, here we go. All right, here we go. Here I've got all the numbers here now. I can actually pull this up for you guys. I can share my screen. I'll take my charts down and I'll share our news feed. So this is the True Trading Group's news feed. Sources from 38 or 40 different sources. And as you guys can see here, we've got the breaking news right here for the earnings. And the quick little AI summary. If you don't want to read the whole article, which you could read the whole article if you guys would like to, and get the full data. Meta comes in, earnings per share 888, surpassing estimates of 818. Revenue 60 billion, 59.9 against 58.4. Microsoft delivers earnings per share 414 versus 392. Anticipated revenue of 81.2 billion was exceeded the 80.2 billion forecast. Both beats indicate strong tech sector performance, signaling bullish market sentiment on those two. You can go through and you can actually read the full article if we wanted to on the source of that news. Meta's Reality Labs. Yep. Elevated 2026 CapEx signals bullish AI investment, which is why you're getting that big boost. Full year revenue grew 22% to 201 billion, despite a 3% net income dip from different tax charges. The fourth quarter year over year is 24% growth. That's a number that I think is just phenomenal. I think that number is just absolutely insane. To have that kind of growth with a company of that size is just nuts. It really, truly is. It really, really is. And then you have also Tesla. Tesla came out with the earnings also, so we can go through Tesla. And Tesla's earnings come in at 50 cents on earnings per share. Analysts were only expecting 45 cents. Revenue reached 24.9 billion, surpassing expectations of 24.8 billion. Let me see some positive surprises. Let me see. This is from X feed. So here you guys can see all the different reasonings behind. So here, Tesla profit slumps, but investors may not care. Tesla profit slumped in the first quarter. Let me go see. Let's actually take a look over at Tesla and see what Tesla's doing. Tesla is trading to the upside here, guys. So you've got Tesla trading to the upside. You've got Meta trading to the upside. And Microsoft is trying to bounce off of a major support level also, mind you, that we have. So we should go back on over to the charts and let's go through one by one and let's kind of talk about the levels that we have here. So right now, this is Tesla that we've got cooking with right now. And let's go ahead, let's go to a daily chart and let's talk about some levels. So as we sit here and we're looking at Tesla, some levels that we got to really keen in on and focus on is going to be the let's talk about this. Let's go through. Let's talk about some of the levels. What you have right now on my screen right now, what you guys are seeing is our AI charts. You can communicate with our AI charting software, just kind of show different support resistance levels and help walk you through different trading plans. You can monitor level 3 data and everything else with it, identify chart patterns, candlestick patterns to help you guys with your trading. But if we switch on to a daily chart, I would go through with you guys and show you some of the different levels that we are on. All right, so as you guys can see, we're kind of breaking above here on the daily chart, breaking above the 50 and the 100-day moving average. Your key resistance level is going to be in those low to mid 450s. So we draw a line right across, like let's say 452 or so, right? 455, just anywhere right along that range. You can start to see almost a little bit of an inverse head and shoulders beginning to form. Right? You guys can see that the left shoulder was formed back in early January. The right shoulder is formed between, the trading action from this week. So today, Monday, Tuesday, and then the head was actually created there on the 20th. The neckline is going to be those low 450s. So I think that's a really big level. And if you do break through those mid 450s, maybe you see a little bit of a relief move back to the upside. That takes Tesla back like well into the 460s or so. But I think that's a really nice potential setup. And on the back of these earnings, better than expected earnings here. They're not, I think the thing with Tesla too, you got to wait for the conference call. Tesla is notorious as well as Microsoft to get guidance. But Tesla's notorious for moving after the conference call when Elon Musk comes on and he talks about all the different things that he wants to go through. So that's typically when Tesla has a bigger reaction rather than the actual release of the earnings themselves. Typically, sometimes you get a bigger move when Elon Musk is going through on the conference call. So that's not for like another hour, over an hour before that conference call is going to get underway, and you got to start paying attention to some movement there. But we'll keep a close eye there on Tesla. If Tesla was to get above that level in the after hours when that conference call is taking place, if it was to get above that, and then tomorrow we wake up, we come in and let's say Tesla's at 460, then Tesla's going to be on the watch list for tomorrow for a day trade on a pullback into like 453, 455. We'd go long there, stops on 450, and look for a push back into the 460s, hold some overnight, look for a push to 470, maybe even hold some over the weekend and try to fill the gap that you have in like around 475. And that'll be a game plan that we can look for tomorrow, but you got to wait and see if we actually break above that level, which we have not yet. We're still underneath it. So you got to, be careful and pay attention there to see if we actually get above that level. Okay. Next up, let's go to Meta. And Meta, we have a real clear level at 680. 680 is a real clear level. We can draw a line right across it. You might say, well, why, Mike? Why is it such a clear level? First of all, it's the 200-day and the 100-day moving average. Okay, so it's both of those major moving averages, the 100-day and the 200-day moving average. Okay, and you guys can see right there on my screen, you guys can see just typing right into the AI charts, just telling you, what you want it to do, asking you questions, and it can just plot things on the chart there for you. This is a proprietary software that we have here at True Trading Group with our AI charts. And the other thing that you'll notice is 680 is also a gap entry from the end of October. So if you look at the end of October, you'll see that Meta gapped all the way down to 680 and then sold off for the weeks that followed. Okay, when you're at the very end of the last couple trading days of October, you gapped underneath 680 and then sold all the way off. That lines up with your 100-day and your 200-day moving average to give you that resistance at 680. You are now well far above that zone into resistance around 705. So if we draw a line now across like 705 or so, you guys will then notice that 705 was a nice area of support back in early October. So my thoughts here on Meta, this is a really big move here to the upside. The stock is up 4% now on the day. And I think you got to be careful of this resistance up around 705. I wouldn't be surprised if we kind of faded off 705 just a little bit, but I think it's safe now for you to say, mark on your charts that 680, and any pullback into that level, you look for that to be an area of support. What an amazing turnaround on earnings. You're talking about this thing printed. The low of that earnings print, guys, is 637, is now 701. That is a massive reversal and turnaround in the after hours on the back of earnings. So just an incredible reversal, but right into resistance at 705. So we're going to look at that 705 area to be resistance and maybe look for a little fade off that level. But really, I think the better trade is not the fade off 705. I think it's the pullback in the long off of 680. All right, let's go over to Microsoft. And Microsoft is interesting. You get a nice support level down there in the low 440s. Like you draw a line across like 443. You got a nice support level down there on the low 440s. And you might say, well, where do we get that? Where do we get that level from? Well, if you pan back a little bit, you look back over the last 2 years or so, you go back to like the middle of 2024 up until today, you can see we had a lot of resistance in September, October, November, December of 2024, resistance in January of 25. Then you broke above that level in May, and then you accelerated and you blew up to all-time highs. And you've since pulled all the way back down to 440, which is that previous resistance level. And now it's acting as support. You can see the AI charts just identified that level as support by that solid green line. And that's a major support level, as you guys can see, identified there on chart, right? And that's exactly where Microsoft just dropped down to after they reported earnings. Now, Microsoft is trading lower at their earnings, not because their earnings were bad. Their earnings were fantastic. They were top and bottom line beats. But the reason why you're getting this bit of a pullback here is their Azure growth came in line with expectations. And that is looked at as a real big growth driver. But another reasons why the stock is trading lower, honestly, could just be some accounting issues. I think could just be some accounting issues with some of the things related to OpenAI, and without getting into the complexities of some of the accounting rules that could be negatively impacting the most recent quarter. I think that at first glance, when the numbers came across, not necessarily the top and bottom line numbers, but when you look at the details of the earnings, there were some things that were concerning, but then you realize the cause of that comes in. The cause of that then comes in with some of those different accounting issues. And that's why the stock then starts to bounce back and starts to recover off of those low 440s. As far as a trade idea for Microsoft, I actually think that you're better off staying on the sidelines with Microsoft. I don't necessarily see there being as clear setup as I do Tesla or as I do Meta. It kind of feels like you're stuck in between some pretty key levels. You recently had a death cross that occurred on Microsoft where the 50-day moving average crossed underneath the 200-day moving average. And you have a very obvious strong resistance level there in the mid to high 480s. So now with that pullback, you're nowhere near that resistance and you're nowhere near support in the low 440s. You're kind of in the middle of two major levels. I don't like engaging or trading or interacting with the stock when it's in the middle when it's in the middle of two major levels like that. I'd rather wait until you get a situation where you are, you know, in a better spot, right? Where you have a higher probability of a setup. Take a look here. We're also running through on our Holy Grail tool. Just a trade idea there for Tesla for tomorrow. Just the Holy Grail tool, if those of you that are not familiar or are unaware what the Holy Grail tool is, it's one of our AI tools that you just plug in the ticker symbol option or stock or a future or crypto. You want a day trade, a swing trade, a scalp, a long-term investment, what your account size and risk is, and then you just let it run analysis and it gives you a detailed trading plan. And we just did that on Tesla just to get an idea of some of those levels and what it is seeing. And it did actually come back with the long. So we do have a long call here on Tesla, waiting for price to pull back down to 441.5 to 443.5, which we actually just did. You did just pull down right into that entry point, and executing at 9:30 tomorrow morning. So it's warning you just against entering on a trade now because of the risk of the earnings conference call, obviously, right? So this is a trade idea that is for tomorrow. Okay, and it says here, technical alignment, bullish breakout from the 435 range with healthy low volume pullback into that 443 support. The technical agent has a very high long rating, 90% from the technical agent, and also the macro agent is also 90% long on the macro agent, but it is extreme risk because of Elon Musk conference call volatility. Do you guys see that? So when you look at the wildcard agent, you see it says extreme risk. And the number one risk identified is Elon Musk conference call volatility. That is exactly what I had just said to you just moments ago before we even ran this, right? So now you guys can see that you're getting a warning there, warning you like, hey, that's the entry spot for the trade, but you're going to want to wait until after the conference call because that volatility can really spin you guys around, right? So I love the warning there. I love the warning there on the Holy Grail tool. And this tool that we have, this has a 70% accuracy, or it has a 70% win rate on the tool. So our members have been using the Holy Grail tool now for 2 months. It went live on December 2nd. So just a little bit under 2 months. And we have generated close to 150,000 trading plans. We have members from True Trading Group. We have over 10,000 members in 114 different countries. And of the members that have the Holy Grail tool, they have generated around 150,000 trading plans. And we track those trading plans vigilantly. And we have, what we have seen is that 70% of the time when the entry zone is reached, because it suggests for you an entry and then it suggests stop loss and profit targets, and it gives you the reasoning behind everything. When the entry is reached, 70% of the time it reaches your first profit target. And of the times that it reaches your first profit target, 70% of those times it reaches your second profit target and gives you really good follow through on the trade. So a 70% win rate accuracy on the Holy Grail tool is causing a lot of our members to have tremendous success. And by success, I just genuinely mean they're making money. You don't have to take my word for it. Don't believe the things that I say. Believe what members say. And I'll actually ask members now, those of you that are on this live stream that are members, if you guys are making money, you're becoming a better trader because of TTG, just go ahead and type the number 1 in chat right now. Anyone here that's not a member, then you guys are here to check out the earnings analysis and to go through everything that we're seeing for a trade for tomorrow on these names. Pay very close attention to how many people you see type the number 1, because these are all your friends and your family members, your coworkers. These are your peers. All these people typing the number 1 they're not luckier than you. They don't have more time than you. 82% of our members have a full-time job, right? They're not luckier than you. They just simply have access to tools and resources that give them better data, better analytics, and better guidance for their trading than you have access to. It's no different than professionals that work at hedge funds that use Bloomberg terminals. Bloomberg terminals are far, far away the greatest financial trading software that exists on planet Earth. The problem is it costs $32,000 per year. That's why the average retail trader does not have them. Okay. Because they're $32,000 per year per user. So and what we've done at True Trading Group is we are creating a TTG terminal that puts more data, professional institutional grade analytics and resources at the fingertips of retail traders that are members of True Trading Group. My business partner and the co-founder of TTG, Adam, who pops on these live streams once in a while to show his pretty face and say hello, he was actually live with members today. He knows nothing about trading. I'm the trader, right? He's the business mind behind True Trading Group. He's the developer behind all the tools and resources that we have that makes TTG a fintech platform. I'm the trader. He knows nothing about trading. And he was live with all of our members using our AI charts, using the Holy Grail, using Mari, which is our AI trading assistant that received the Benzinga FinTech Award for Best AI Analysis Tool. And he was using it live, trading in his account, real money, trading options on the SPY following the Fed meeting. It was unbelievable. And he was able to, without knowing anything of what he's doing, he ran the Holy Grail tool, got a trading plan for the SPY, dropped it onto the AI charts, and went through step by step, following what the AI was telling him to do, was able to generate and profit from the trade. Members, is this true or not? Because obviously, if you guys weren't there, I don't want you, it's hard for you to just take my word for it. I'm just a guy on YouTube. But members, those of you that were with me in chat, is that true? True or false? Adam knows nothing about trading, yet he was able to follow along with what the AI was telling him, was able to make some money today. That's a testament to the resources and the tools that are available to you when you join this platform. This is not just a chat room with trade alerts and moderators tell you buy here, sell here. Do we do that? Yes. Do we have courses? Yes. Do we have boot camps and workshops and trainings? And yes. All of those things, right? The mods and I trade in front of you live every day. We share our screen. We answer questions, provide commentary and analysis. You can follow all of our trades if you want, but it's not just about that. TTG is a fintech platform that gives retail traders access to tools, resources, data, analytics, and guidance to help them make better decisions, to give them more consistent results. Professional traders have a massive edge over retail because of the data, resources, analytics that they have access to. We are building something here that gives our members, retail, access to comparable tools, and some actually the exact same tools. Okay.
James, real quick, James is 1,000% correct. I took the impression that Shug knows even less about options trading than me. Yeah.
Yes, that's true. It's definitely true.
Yeah. Buy my course.
Yeah. Oh man. So yeah. And that's the reason why we have, so many members that have success. And it's not a coincidence that the Holy Grail tool has a 70% win rate. And at True Trading Group, we have a 75% retention rate amongst our members. We only have a 2.5%, less than 2.5% refund rate. We offer a double your money back guarantee when you guys join TTG. We stand behind this platform. We truly believe that these tools and this community can help you guys reach your goals. That when you join TTG, if you can't make your membership fee back, we give you back double your money. That's the double your money back guarantee that we have at True Trading Group. I'm curious real quick, actually, how many people here, do me a favor, if you are not a member, can you type the letters TTG in chat real quick for me, please? This is if you're not a member. If you're not part of True Trading Group, okay? If you're not, type the letters TTG. I'm just curious how many people we have in here that are not part of the group. So go to guys, type TTG. Those of you that are not. All right. Well, those of you that are not members of True Trading Group, you guys can go to ttgoffer.com and you can check out everything that is included with your membership, as well as the confirmation of the double your money back guarantee. Let me actually pull. so I can give you the right number. All right, so here we go. Yeah, so it's right here. It's right here on the page, ttoffer.com. It says right there, double your money back guarantee. If you guys do not make back the $647, which is the cost of your membership, if you can't make that back at least once, we'll give you back $1,294. The deal is you have to complete our courses. You got to log into the platform at least 50 times throughout the year, and you're going to have to actually trade with real money. And if you cannot make back $647 at least one time during the membership, we don't give you back $647. We give you back $1,200. We put our money where our mouth is. That's to prove to you how much we believe in the platform that we've created. Everything else listed on that page is included. Mari, that's the AI trading assistant, our chat room, the real-time data, professional charting tools, the educational library with all of our courses and workshops, the global trading community with all of our members, 10,000 members from 114 different countries. You got the mobile app for Android and for iPhone, and everything is right here, guys. Okay, so that'll be, and you do have Klarna and PayPal credit if you guys would like to use those options as well. So it's a $647 there for your 12 months. Go to ttgoffer.com. Everything there is included. Okay. Hey, yo, what's up? It's Mike from True. And you guys can just click on that link, that video that's on that page, and it will actually walk you through and show you all of the tools and resources that make the TeachD platform the TeachD platform that you all know it to be. If you have any questions, text us 1-888-621-2127. Again, that's 1-888-621-2127. If you guys have any questions at all about the membership, what's included, how to get started, or anything like that, you guys can text that number at the bottom of your screen, and we'll answer any questions that you guys have. Does anyone have any questions for me regarding any of the earnings and the stocks that we just had come out here? I also want to talk to you guys about IBM because, well, maybe you guys are writing some questions. IBM is another stock that we had in the long-term portfolio that we had actually entered into that last year. And IBM also had earnings. So we're going to want to go through this and check out these earnings. They reported earnings per share $4.52 versus $4.32. And they did beat estimates with revenue as well at $19.69 billion, up 12% year over year. And they forecast 2026 revenue growth exceeding 5%. And they're looking at a $1 billion free cash flow increase. And this is great. I mean, these are great numbers here on IBM. It looks like IBM, which was, really a blue chip dinosaur, is really getting back to growth. And it is AI, it's quantum computing. And everyone keeps asking me about, Mike, what's your favorite quantum computing stock? And they go, you like IonQ or RGTI? And I'm like, neither. I like IBM and Alphabet. Those are the two leaders I like in quantum computing. And IBM is at the forefront of it. And, people think that just because it's a more expensive stock, that there's not as much opportunity there. And I say I'd much rather own IBM or Alphabet for plays on quantum than a company that has $34,000 in revenue on the quarter or $1 million in revenue on the year that trades at a ridiculous multiple that makes no sense whatsoever. I would just much rather own something more stable than that. If you're going to buy one of those other stocks, I think you do so with a smaller amount of capital. You have a much bigger position in an Alphabet or an IBM. You have a smaller position in a QBTS or RGTI or an IonQ if you're looking for a quantum play that way. So I still like IBM. You got a great support level there in the 290s. Was previous resistance in 2025. If you draw a line across like 295, you guys will see, draw right across there. You'll see the tops from June, July, and October of last year. And then you broke above that level. And then it started to become support November, December, and then January. There it is drawn on your screen. There's that support level that you guys can see. Beautiful support level right there. Right there it is. And now the stock is currently trading up 8% on the day at $318. That is IBM. So the entire market has completely reversed. When you have the initial drop, if we go take a look at the SPY now, when the SPY initially dropped from 695.5 down to 692.5, you had a $3 drop there on the release of Microsoft and Meta's earnings. And since then, you've had a complete reversal. You know, the SPY is now reversed back up to 696.5, back up near the highs of the day, not quite at them, but near them. And that's largely driven by Meta, which is, wow, Meta is exploding. If we go to Meta's chart real quick, guys, $740 are on deck right now on Meta. Meta is Rip City. We just cleared that 705 resistance and are flying. Next resistance level is going to be right around 743. You guys can draw a line across 743 there on Meta, and you'll see a nice little area structure, some pivot tops from the middle of October, a little bit of support there, and then you have that huge gap down. So you have a little resistance in the 740s there on Meta. Wow. What a move. It's interesting too, because Meta has been a laggard. Meta has really lagged behind when you look at, you know, some like you look at like an Alphabet and Meta coming back, you know, with force here. Huge move to the upside now, up 10% here on the day. Massive move. My thoughts on ServiceNow. So we get one question. My thoughts on ServiceNow. My thoughts on ServiceNow are not good. You know, I also do own ServiceNow. This is a support level. These 120s are support. But what's happening with software, the software sector is getting beaten up because of AI and people trying to figure out what areas is AI, what software businesses is AI going to help versus what software businesses is AI going to hurt. Two of my two favorite software names still remain Palantir and Snowflake, but I do own ServiceNow, I do own Salesforce, and I do own Cloudflare. Now, Cloudflare has done better than the others. Had a horrible day today, but it's done better than the others. Salesforce has not performed well. ServiceNow has not performed well. I am not adding to these positions at this time. I really want to let this AI software battle kind of shake out and try to, you know, determine winners and losers from there. I like Snowflake and Palantir. I don't have issues adding to those names. I will actually be adding to Palantir most likely in the 140s if we get there, maybe 130s. Full disclosure, I trimmed Palantir on November 3rd, right before they reported earnings at 206.5. The shares and the amount that I trimmed at 206.5, I'm going to recycle that back in most likely in the 140s. Okay, so I don't have a problem adding back to that. I also have Snowflake that I'm happy with, but I'm not going to add to Salesforce. I'm not going to add to ServiceNow at this time. So again, for Tesla, we've got the trading plan all lined up there for Tesla now for tomorrow, thanks to the Holy Grail tool. Meta is going to be too large of a gap up tomorrow. I most likely won't trade it. Sometimes when you have such a huge gap, sometimes it just kind of consolidates and digests the gap up and could actually be pretty choppy intraday, even though it's such a massive move higher. I think you have a possibility for that for Meta. So I'm probably not going to trade Meta tomorrow, but Tesla is one that we're going to focus on a lot. What do I think about these new 3-day-a-week expirations on the Mag 7s? I like them, Brian. I think it's going to add. I think it's going to add volatility and add liquidity. I think it provides traders with more of an option. And that's not a pun, but I think it provides more. Like you might have a trader, like you think about a Meta option. Meta options are expensive. So if you're looking at trading Meta on a Monday or Tuesday and you go with the Friday expiration, which was the only option that you had previously, it's going to be a very expensive option because you have 3-4 days of time and extrinsic value on theta, or not theta, but on time value in there. And then as you get closer to that, the theta then, decays at it and the price of the option then declines. Now with Monday, Wednesday, Friday expiration, there's going to be a lot less extrinsic on those contracts, which is going to provide a much cheaper option contract that allows traders with smaller accounts to be able to trade these things now and still be within their risk tolerance. So I think it's a good thing because Microsoft, and specifically Meta option contracts are very expensive. So I think I look at it think of it as a good thing. Piggybacking on oil, what do you think of NE? I like oil. I'm not familiar with NE, with Noble, as far as, fundamentals, but I like energy as a whole. Energy is actually one of my sector highlight picks for 2026. I really like energy. Chevron, Exxon, ConocoPhillips, but then you also have some of the ancillary energy names. That's like kind of your old school energy, but there's also like GE Vernova and some of those names. I'm not familiar with NE from a fundamental standpoint. So the person that was asking that question. So, unfortunately, I can't really give you too much of a guidance on what I think about the company. What I could do is speak on the chart where it looks like you have an inverse head and shoulders, maybe a support level around 33. If it stays above 33, maybe that stock has room to 38. But that's all I would really say about that one. But I do like energy as a whole. Do you think UNH gaps down further this week after the Fed meeting? I actually don't think the Fed meeting really has any impact on United Health really at all. United Health is a tough one here. You're underneath a pretty big support level, which is acting as resistance. And that level is like the high 290s. If you were to draw a line across like 297, you'll see that you had a really nice support back in August, and then you gapped underneath it yesterday after the news came out. About the Medicare rates staying flat for the year, you're talking about potential significant changes to the business model with some of these health insurance companies. So I do own United Health. I'm not adding to it. I think there's better places to put your money right now. I think that the high 290s is resistance until proven otherwise. So I would look for those 290s to hold and look for the stock to fade off of it. If you close above 300, then I'd probably say, okay, fine. Then maybe there's a little bit more of a bounce like 310. But as long as you're under 300, I think you stay leaning on the short side. And there's all your levels drawn out there on the AI chart. So we just said on the AI charts, just show me support and resistance. And it was able to just plot those levels out for you just there now. The memory names are also continuing their short squeeze. I own Micron. I do not own SanDisk or Western Digital. Micron up another 8% today as the squeeze is on still with massive shortage on memory with MRAM and everything else because of AI. You got to be careful. Western Digital and SanDisk, I believe, report earnings tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. That will absolutely have an impact on Micron. All right. So again, folks, those of you that are not members, ttgoffer.com. Everything on that page is included. You got a double your money back guarantee. Any questions, you just send us a text message, 1-888-621-2127. When you guys do join, you're also going to get access. You're going to be able to use that Holy Grail tool. You're going to get 30 runs, which is 30 trading plans generated for you for the Holy Grail tool. You guys can actually go ahead and trade whatever it is that you want and use those runs to if anybody wants to then do that. You guys want to maybe give me a ticker symbol and we'll actually, you guys throw out a ticker symbol. We'll do a run right now for you guys on the Holy Grail. Anybody just throw out a ticker symbol. Anyone, any ticker symbol you want. NAMM. Cool. Let's do it. Let's do NAMM as a day trade and a stock. So that's all you have to do. You just type in, you want to trade a stock, an option, a crypto, or a futures contract. You put in the ticker symbol, your account size, and how much you want to risk. And then you select, do you want to scalp, a day trade, a swing trade, or a long-term investment? You click run, and it just goes through the analysis. This is a multi-agent system. Okay, this is a multi-agent system. You have a technical agent that analyzes all the technicals, a macro agent that analyzes all the news, and a wildcard agent. The wildcard agent that goes through and really is to monitor risk. And then you have the supervisor agent or the head trader agent that takes all that information and then decides, I want to go long or short, and then gives you the actual trading plan. I will also, while we wait for this to generate, it takes around 90 seconds or so. Members of True Trading Group, we are going to be doing the clock tower session in main chat today at 6 p.m. Everyone is invited. Okay. Everyone's invited. All right. Even if you're not, a futures trader, you got the clock tower session is going to be hosted in the main chat room today at 6 p.m. You are all invited. All right, here we go. Let's all right, here we go. We've got a long 75% confidence. This is a trading plan for tomorrow. Wait for price to pull back down to $6 to $6.15 support to improve risk reward. Then buy if executing at tomorrow's open. Confirm price has not gapped below 590. Stop loss around 580. Target 645 to 655 for your first target. Technical analysis here. Stock is in a verified bull flag pattern with volume contraction holding above major support. Strong macro trend. Stock is up on the day. Massive volume. Primary trend is undeniably bullish, indicating institutional interest. Support resistance analysis. Prices pulled back from the high of the day of 710 is consolidating in a constructive range between 6 and 610. Support zone has been tested multiple times. Volume confirmation. Volume has notably contracted during its recent consolidation. This indicates a lack of aggressive selling pressure and supports the bull flag thesis. The risk on environment, 85% on the macro agent. High risks are its after hours liquidity. Unexpected secondary offering or dilution. You got to be careful. Obviously, I love that. Look at that. Unexpected secondary offering. You got to be careful because it is a small cap. You got to be careful of them announcing an offering. So again, this is a trading plan for tomorrow. And it gives you 80% likelihood that that $6 support zone would hold, waiting for price to pull back to $6. And stop loss is being placed underneath structural consolidation of the 590s. So your stop loss is placed underneath 590. Okay, it's a really great trading plan. I actually agree with that trading plan entirely. And we'll see if that sets up for us for tomorrow. Now, what we'll do with this is tomorrow morning, we'll run NAMM again on the Holy Grail, and we will go ahead and see if the trading plan is the same. What you don't want to do is you don't want to run the Holy Grail tool at 5 o'clock, get the trading plan, and then just take that trading plan right into 9:30, run it again in the morning, because the more analysis, the more data that the Holy Grail has access to and can analyze, the more accurate the analysis and the plan will be. A lot could happen between now and tomorrow morning, right? A lot could happen between now and tomorrow morning. So you want to make sure that you run it again tomorrow morning and make sure that that trading plan is still valid and it's still giving you the exact same reading. We'll do one more. Anybody else? Go ahead. Go ahead and throw me out another ticker symbol. Get it. Just type away. Type a ticker symbol. We'll do one more. Good confidence on that trade too. There was a pretty good confidence on the long side. But 70, I think it was 75%. That's pretty good. That's too GLD. That's a tough one. But yeah, let's go ahead and do GLD, stock, and day trade. That's going to be a tough one because the stock is so extended. That is going to be a tough one. This is the craziest move that I could remember. But guys, GLD has a 95 RSI. I was telling people in chat today, I don't know if I've ever seen a 95 RSI before. I'm serious. I don't know if I've ever seen a 95 RSI. Gold was our commodity pick in our market outlook report 2 years ago. 2 years ago. We entered the GLD in the 180s and 190s 2 years ago. And we are still in it. We have taken some profit along the way, but we are still in it. It's been an absolutely unbelievable move. I don't have SLV. I have GLD. I do not own SLV. Wish I did, but I don't. Can't own them all. Wow, would you look at that? Would you look at that? So this is suggesting no trade. It is suggesting no trade. And the reason why it is suggesting no trade is because of how extended the stock is. We selected it for a day trade. And essentially what this is reading, so there's guardrails on the Holy Grail. We have guardrails on the Holy Grail to prevent you from chasing moves. If you get into a situation where a stock is parabolic and it's extended and it's trading right up near the highs, it'll suggest to you no trade might be the best trade. Because if you were to buy right now, could it still go higher? Yes. But if you buy right now, you are buying into a parabolic move and you could get caught holding the bag and you are susceptible to a sharp volatile pullback because your risk reward can really be skewed because of how parabolic the move is. And to prevent you from getting caught in a rug pull, not necessarily a rug pull, but prevent you from getting caught in a sizable pullback, the guardrails here will tell you, hey, I know you might want to trade GLD, but you might want to hold off because the stock is incredibly extended. It's sitting there telling you, I'm not comfortable shorting the stock right now, and I'm also not comfortable going long. And if you asked me individually, I would tell you the exact same thing. You asked me, what should I do with GLD tomorrow for a day trade? I would tell you I have no freaking clue. The stock is so extended, I can't for the life of me go long tomorrow, but I'm also not crazy enough to go short. I would say I don't see any reason to go short, and the stock is too extended to go long. I'm not buying into a 95 RSI. So I love to see this. That's incredible risk management on the Holy Grail tool. That's incredible. This is actually one of the recent updates that we've made to the algorithm behind the Holy Grail tool to guard against traders chasing moves, both to the upside and also to the downside. Yes, Angela, it's mimicking my trading style in the sense that I buy pullbacks into support and I short bounces into resistance. It has the same trading style. I have trained this AI and this algorithm, and Adam and I have built this algorithm together with my trading inputs and Adam's development, right? So like the rules, the criteria, the parameters, as far as how it recognizes support, how it recognizes chart patterns, and where its entries are going to be are based off of what I am giving it and the criteria that I'm giving, the parameters and the rule sets that we are giving it. So it's not just like a random, whatever ChatGPT thinks. Like, no, it's actually trained through my own trading style and strategy. Yeah. And right now, the Holy Grail has a 70% accuracy or a 70% win rate. It has a 70% win rate right now. All right. So that's it, folks. All right. So again, ttgoffer.com. Those are, for those of you that are not members, go there. Everything there is included in your membership. You can click on that video. It'll actually show you like the AI charts, which is what Adam has in front of you guys right now. That's our AI charts. If you ever needed help, with identifying support or resistance, you guys can just ask, hey, show me support, show me resistance, and plus the lines right on the screen for you. You can say, hey, where should I put my stop loss? It'll tell you, it'll drop it right there on the chart for you. You can ask it like, hey, what do you think about this candlestick? And here we actually so Adam actually, if you guys, I don't know if you guys can read his screen, the text might be too low, but Adam essentially took the Holy Grail tool, the trading plan of no trade, fed it to the AI chart, said, hey, can you confirm this? And what the AI just said was, yes, I agree, no trade right now. Anti-chase block is spot on. Entry too close to the high of the day of 495.88. Price is at 495.08. The stock is still extended. Wait for a pullback for better risk reward, aligning with your conservative risk tolerance and novice trading level, because Adam's typed it in. After hours liquidity is thin anyway. Right? So that's also right. That's also going to be confirming no trade. And that's great because, a lot of you might be tempted to buy into this thing. And who knows, maybe it goes to 510 tomorrow and it turns out to be a winning trade. But building discipline and not chasing moves is going to help you over the long term, not just for one individual trade. So really great stuff, guys. Again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate. Just text us 1-888-621-2127. Send us a text if you guys want to learn more about the tools. You want to learn more about the platform and kind of maybe get a rundown of all the things that we have available and what they do and how members are using them. I'm serious. Don't be shy. We are an open book. You guys text that number. You're going to be talking to a real person. Ask any questions that you guys want. You want to see a demo of some stuff? Just go ahead, go to ttgoffer.com, click on that video. Or like I said, don't be shy. Send us a text message and we can give you some more information. We can give you some more content for some stuff you guys to get a feel for what the TTG platform is really all about and what are the tools and resources that come along with your membership. All right. So again, that's ttgoffer.com. Questions, text us 1-888-621-2127. And then members, don't forget, Clock Tower session is being held in main chat at 6 p.m. Eastern on the dot. You are all invited. It's totally free. I'll see you guys there. All right. Have a wonderful rest of your night. Great job today. And I will see you all tomorrow.